Hi, Brad from WPSites.net. This is the third video in a series about how to design a website using a StudioPress theme for WordPress. StudioPress themes are built on the Genesis framework, which is updated every 3 to 6 months, and StudioPress offer a range of different themes. Around 30 to 40 different themes to choose from. So this is the demo site. We've created a website from scratch, and if you watched the first two videos you would have seen what we've done. And this is the demo site which StudioPress a demo for basically give you an example of what you can create using the magazine theme, and this is what I've done over the last two videos. So we've added several major pages here: a blog page, a contact page with a contact form, we've got a home page link, we've added the main site title and the tagline, we've added the social media widgets, and you can add more to them, it's pretty easy, a search form. We've got some secondary menu here. We've got different categories here. So for the different category posts, we've got an email opt-in form, some recent posts, some tweets. We've added in 3 different featured posts down here in the footer. So there's still a few more things to do. What we'll look at now is we'll look at adding an author box and also some content to the author box. We'll also look at creating, if you've got a logo, we'll look at adding the logo into the header area. So this is fairly sort of major. It's a fairly popular thing that people want to do with their website. They get a logo designed, and then you could simply add the logo in the header here. Or you could add the logo to a custom-made header and add the whole lot in there, and use what they call a transparent background. So I'll show you how to do that, and that's what we'll do now. We'll check out the header area. So we'll just log into WordPress here, and we'll go to Appearance and Header, and this is the current situation here. We've got some text in the header. Magazine theme for Genesis framework. Now you're obviously not going to want that, because you're going to want your own brand in there and your own tagline. Show header text with image. We'll just uncheck that and save the changes, and we'll see what the result of that is. Now that's gone. So we can add, if you've got a logo, you can simply upload it here, and this is the size of your header area. It tells you here in the custom header under Appearance, 960 width by 115 in height in pixels. So you can simply upload, if your logo is less than 960 in width, equal to or less than 960 in width, or equal to 115 pixels in height or less, you could simply upload that, and that'll go straight in this header area. But I'll show you how to make a custom header, and I'm going to use paint.net. This is for Windows. If you're a Mac user, I recommend GIMP, G-I-M-P, or if you got the money and you want to spend a fair bit of time, Adobe Photoshop's the ultimate, but it can take you a long time to master it. So we're looking at a header size area of 960 by 115. Okay, so we'll click on New. Let's go 960, tab 115. So this is the perfect size, and this is what it looks like here. Now we don't want a white background, because a white background on here is not going to look very good, and we actually don't want it 960 because it's going to cut off these social media widgets. So we probably want it around 300 to 400. We'll make this background transparent. So we'll go down here to the magic wand, click on that, hit the delete button, and there you go. We've got a transparent background. So that's our background for the header area. We should actually change that size, shouldn't we? We'll make that about 300, I think. So add new, 300 by 115. We'll keep the height the same. There we go there. We probably could have gone 350 or 400. Magic wand, delete, Now you've got your logo. I don't have one, so I'll find one just as an example. And I'll just use a WordPress logo as an example. And we want something which is less than 115. So here we have 128. So I could use one of these. Let's download this. Save this image. Desktop. Saved. Bit slow. Here it is here. I'll just change the size of this. It's got to be less. It's got to be 115. So here we go. Perfect. So just minimize this a bit. So we can just imagine this is your logo. So we'll put this on the header. So that's a perfect size. It's 115, and this area is 115. And then you can simply put some text in here. We probably should have made this a bit wider, but it doesn't really matter. We'll just save that. Close this off. Don't save. Okay, go down here. Text. Your website. Let's change the font a little bit. Make it a little bit larger. Change the color. A little bit bigger. Okay, so this is your header. You can see how easy it is once you've got your logo to create your own header. We'll save this as a PNG file to the desktop. Here it is here, the header image. Now we'll just upload this. It's on a transparent background. Upload. Skip cropping. Save changes, and we'll check out the what it looks like. So there you go. It's probably the wrong color here. It should probably be a wider or a brighter color here there, but you get the idea. It's pretty easy to add your logo with some text here. I could have easily added a tagline underneath the name of the website using paint.net or GIMP. So it's really easy to add this to a StudioPress theme. Next, we'll take a look at some categories. If you want to add different categories, it's best to keep the categories to a minimal. I wouldn't have more than 12. I know a lot of people when they first start out with WordPress, like myself, make the mistake of adding far too many categories. I had 48 at one stage, and I've reduced that down to about 10 or 11 now. So we go to posts here, categories. And all these categories here have already been created because I imported some dummy content, which is included with every download of StudioPress theme. But you don't want to use the dummy content, so I'll delete it. I will keep 3 of these categories because I have assigned 3 posts to them, and all the rest I'll delete. Now, if you delete categories, your posts will be allocated to what they call the uncategorized category. So I'll show you that in a minute. Your links to your posts won't break because each post is assigned a unique post ID. So you don't have to worry about that. But the link to the actual individual category archive will. So here's the uncategorized category. So any categories you delete, any posts that are assigned to those categories will automatically be assigned to the uncategorized category. And you can change this as well. So we've got 3 categories here. We can just create a new category. We could call this themes. You can add in the description. So whatever's relevant to your industry or the overall topic of your site. For me, it's WordPress. So the three main areas are probably themes, plugins, tutorials, tips. So it's really easy to add the categories, and of course add a description. That'll help. And now you can assign, whenever you create a post, you've got the different categories down here, and you can assign each post to the category depending on the overall content of the post. So that's pretty straightforward. Let's take a look at, if you look in the demo site, let's see if we can get the demo site up from the StudioPress site. You'll notice an author box. At the end of every post there's an author box. Now Brian Gardner, he's the owner and founder of StudioPress, so he's put in his own information there. He's got an avatar there, which is a picture of his face. This really personalizes your blog. You put in your name and your face to your content and to your site, so it's, you know, you give yourself a lot of credibility. You're not trying to hide anything. It's the way you should do it. Blogs are fairly personal, really. Blog posts should be based on your own personal experience. So I'll show you how to add that, and it's pretty straightforward. All we have to do is, first you have to create some copy, what you want to put in there, a little bit about yourself. You know, he says he's a Starbucks addict. He likes Sarah McLachlan, loves WordPress. So put in a bit about yourself. You can include a link to Twitter, a link to your blog as well. Now the way to create this is to go to Posts, click Add New, and create a little bit of text about yourself. If you want a link to Twitter, put it in here. Create a link, put your Twitter link in there, the address to Twitter, and the same to your blog. And you can add these in your author box at the end of every post. So we've added all these links. You should really put a title in there. He hasn't done that. And then this is in the visual editor. Then go to the HTML editor, copy this, and then go to Users, Your Profile. Scroll down here, put your name in. Your name. Display name publicly as your name. Put in your email address, your website address, and about yourself. Biographical information. Paste the HTML that you just created about yourself in there and save it. Now with this email address here, the email address that you put here should be linked to your gravatar, and a gravatar is a little image of your face. Where's the demo site? Like Brian Gardner's got here. This image here is connected to his email address, so whenever he writes a post, his image is going to show up here in the author box below every post. Whenever he makes a comment on any blog, his image will show up here. So you have to go to gravatar.com and create one. Gravatar.com, and simply just follow the instructions. Enter your email address here. Here's Matt Mullenweg, the founder of WordPress, and this is what it's basically going to look like. So sign up for a Gravatar, use an email address, and every time you make a comment on a blog, make sure you use the same email address and your image will show up. I've got several created. My main one's Brad at wpsites.net. So update the profile, and this should show up. Let's have a look at the end of every post. And it hasn't. So let's take a look at why. We'll go to Genesis theme settings and we'll look for the author box. display author box. Has it got something? It doesn't have a setting for display author box. So we might need to add a little bit of code to the theme style sheet, which is pretty straightforward. Let's just have a look under users again, whether there's anything here. Enable author box on users, posts and archives. So there you go. Under users, your profile, this is where we entered our name, put in our email address to the Gravatar, which we just created on the gravatar.com site, uploaded a nice clear picture of your smiling face. We added the HTML in for the bio, which is going to be included in the author box. And now we scroll down here and check these two under author box, and this will enable the author box. Update the profile, and that should be included now. Now let's check it out on our site. And there you go. So the email address I entered is entered here. About your name, so your name will be in there. You got a little bit of copy, you got a couple of links, so you'll get people that'll follow you on Twitter. They'll check out your blog or your website or wherever you link to. You can link that to wherever you like. So that's how easy it is to create an author box in using StudioPress. The functions are already built into the StudioPress themes, and of course the Genesis theme framework, and all the themes are built on the Genesis theme framework. So now you know how to add your logo and your header to your site. You've learned how to add an author box. Let's just look at the archives, the blog archives. When someone clicks on your blog, you've got different options how you want to display this content. I've chosen to display all the content. Now you might not want to do this. You might want to just display an excerpt. So let's go into the log into WordPress. We'll go into the back end, go to Genesis theme settings, and we'll scroll down and we'll take a look at content archives. Here, display post content. Let's change this to display post excerpt. Include featured image. Let's not include featured image, and we'll just have a look, see what it looks like. Here we go. So it's changed that. We've just got the post title now, and we've just got 3 lines of text. So that's minimized it a lot. But you might want to add an image, especially if you've got some nice images. Why not add them? So let's have a look. Include a featured image. Image sizes. You can choose on the image sizes there. I can't do this because I'm working on a local installation and not everything works correctly, but if you're on a live site you'll be able to choose the image size. So I'll save that and we'll have a look. So I've got the full image here and I've just got 3 lines, so that looks pretty good. I mean, these are, if you've got really nice images, you may as well display them there. People like images. They much prefer to look at a nice image than read a huge chunk of text. And you can see each post is folded under a category. These are just the demo categories. Category 1, Category 2, Category 3. But as you saw before, I added 3 more, and then I can assign posts to them really easy. Now you've got some what they call meta information up here. It's got a date. It's got your name. So these are what they call the author archives. So this is about you. This will have your information and the posts you wrote on this blog. Now most blogs only include posts that are written by the one author, but you can have multiple authors, and it's really a great way to add user-generated content to your site. By allowing guest authors, so that's something we'll look at down the track. It's fairly easy to allow other people to add content to your site. It's not difficult at all. All right. Let's now take a look at the footer area of the StudioPress theme. By default, you'll get a link here. When clicked, that'll return you to the top of the site. You've also got some copyright information. You can add some custom links in here. You might want to customize this. You may want to remove a lot of this. It's fairly easy to do. There's actually two ways you can do it. One's to install a Simple Hooks plugin. Another one is to play around with some code, some PHP code. Now, if you're a beginner, I don't think it's a good idea to play around with the code, because you have to add it to your theme's functions file, and if you make a mistake and one little thing's out of place, your whole site can go down, and it can be very frustrating to fix. So I think the best method is the Simple Hooks plugin. It's a free plugin, and if you make a mistake with this, you don't have to worry too much. So we'll install that. We'll log into the back end of WordPress. We'll go to plugins, add new. It's called Simple Hooks plugins. Genesis Simple Hooks is what it's called. So you find that, make sure you got the right one. It's by Nathan Rice. He's a plugin developer for Genesis. Click on install now, and it's pretty quick to install, and this is a fantastic plugin. It really is. I won't get too technical, but there's different hooks located in different areas of the StudioPress themes, about 30 to 40 different areas, maybe more, and you can basically display content in any of those areas by using this hook. So now we go to Genesis Simple Hooks, and you've got all the different areas, and it will basically show you all the different areas that you can display content. Now, so you can display anything: HTML, PHP, even shortcodes. So if you're not sure of what PHP and shortcodes are, you will learn about them. But this is a great plugin, and it's worthwhile installing when you first start out. We're looking for Genesis footer hook. Alright, so here we are here. This is what we want to do here. What do we want to do? We want to unhook the Genesis do footer. So click on that. We don't want to add anything, and we'll just unhook it and see what happens. Save the settings. Hopefully nothing breaks. When you start playing around with PHP, here we go. So we've just removed everything. You saw before how we had all the links and different stuff in there. That's all gone now. So you can add anything you like in there. You want to add your own link, create your own HTML, and you could add anything what you like in there. You could add social widgets. You can add links. Follow me on Twitter. A link to wherever you like. Let's just put a Twitter link in there, twitter.com, wpsites.net. Okay, let's grab that HTML that we've just created in the WordPress editor. That's the visual view of it. That's the HTML view. We've grabbed the HTML. And we'll go to that, back to that hook plugin, Simple Hooks, leave, yep, don't need to save that, and we'll scroll down to here. We'll put some HTML in there, and let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. What have we done? Follow me on Twitter. See, so you can easily add links to the footer of your site. It's very, very simple, and that'll be on every page now. I could add an icon in there. There's lots of different things I could do. I could align that as well. Let's just go back to add posts. I just use this basically to create HTML, but I could put that in the center. You might want a link in the center, so text align center. This just saves you creating the HTML. If you don't know how to write HTML code, you just write it in the visual editor and then copy and paste it from the HTML. So we'll go back to simple hooks, come back down here. I mean, you could put an affiliate link in there if you want to sell stuff, whatever you like, a link to your hosting provider or your theme, or you might have a great site. People might want to know what it is and they'll go down your footer to find out. So here we go here, and you can see there it centered it. Follow me on Twitter. So you can put whatever you like in there, any sort of links you like. Let's just take a look at these social media icons here. You might not want them in the header area because you may have a really big logo or something that you want to put in the header. You might want to put them here, so we can simply just drag them down and we can put them there. That might look a bit better. That looks quite good. It's in a pretty good area there. So people have got a choice. They can follow you on any of your social networks. They can check out your videos on YouTube, or they can subscribe to your blog right here. And you could put something else in there. You might want to put an ad or something. You might have an ebook or something like that, or a course, and you might want to promote something. So you can easily put something in that header right widget area, and that's going to be on every single page. It's above the fold, so it'll get a lot of notice. And this is a pretty good area to monetize if you're trying to offer a product or a service. Before we finish up, let's just have a look at content columns. Now, this is a feature built into the core Genesis framework, which all StudioPress themes are built on. And as you can see here, this is the default. Normally with each content area there's only one column. But what you can do is you might want two, so you can have content side by side. It can be text, it can be images, it can be videos, it can be anything. So this is pretty nice. This is all built into the framework. So you might want some content along like this. You might want to create a custom home page. You might want one page just showing a comparison of different products or something. So you can easily do that with Genesis and StudioPress themes. And let's look how to do it. Here's the code. You'll find the code on the StudioPress site. Once you buy a StudioPress theme, you'll have access to all these resources, and there's an enormous amount of resources. You've got a blog, you've got a forum, and you've got all these different tutorials which give you all this customization and all this support. So all you need to do, let's make a 3-column content area, content columns. Yeah, how do I grab all of this? Let's just copy this and we'll go to our theme. Let's create a new page and let's call it comparison. Default template. In the HTML view, we'll just paste this in. Now we'll need to change this text because this text it's just an example text. It doesn't mean anything. Let's just save this. We'll preview it, and you can see what's happened here. We've got 3 separate columns here. So you can replace that text yourself, and you can put anything you like in there. You can put different like point form. Let me show you what I mean by that. Unordered list. Yeah. Let's see what this does. Ordered list. Let's have a look at this. So there's lots of different things you can do here. You can add in images, you can add different bullet points, numbered lists, unordered lists, and so it's pretty easy. You can have two columns, 3 columns, 4 columns, 5 columns of content. So So these are all the features that are built into the Genesis Themes framework and available to all StudioPress theme owners. There's lifetime free updates as well available for all StudioPress theme owners. So that's a pretty good idea of what you can do in the space of about an hour and a half, 2 hours once you own a StudioPress theme. In the next video we'll have a look at some more advanced customization, and so see you next time. Thanks for watching, folks. Cheers.